Good morning. I want to answer a question that I get often. And this answer is some of the best career advice I have ever received. And I've kept it near and dear to my heart since I was given this advice. And I was given this advice by two different people, other musicians. The question is, what do you do when you hate the song? Uh, some form of that. Some people are like, well, what if the song's terrible? Or what if something's wrong in the situation? I've been in multiple situations where I'm being paid to play guitar, whether that's a show or a tour or a session, if it's a demo session or someone's record. I've been in multiple situations where something else is not great, and it might not be the song. You might be playing with a really inexperienced drummer who has a hard time staying on tempo. Maybe everybody's got click in their ears and he's chasing the click and wandering, and there's this brick in a dryer kind of feel happening. Or maybe somebody else in the band is ultra inexperienced and they're not listening very well, and it's just like their time to play. They're just playing over everything, and um, those situations are easy for you to get discouraged and to kind of check out, like, well, whatever, man. But the advice that I was given, and this is huge, this is a huge deal. It basically comes down to this: worry about the things you can control. I think that's just good life advice in general, right? Like, I might be on a gig, early on in my career, I was on several gigs where I thought, well, the bass player, I don't even know if he has a tuner, or the other guitar player's overplaying, or the drummer's not doing great, or the singer isn't really singing on pitch. My job is to show up and play guitar as best as I can. And if that's my focus and I continue forward with that, not being discouraged or distracted by whatever else is going on, I'm staying in my lane and worrying about the things that I can control. I can make sure that I play my ass off in every situation I get called for, right? I cannot make sure that everybody else is doing their job to what I think is the best of their ability, or making the right choices that I think they need to make. That's outside of my sphere of influence. When I show up to a gig or to a rehearsal or to a session. So people ask me, what if the song is terrible? What if I hate the song or whatever? That's just not my concern. It is not my concern at all. I'm there to play guitar and do that as well as I can. And maybe somebody else on the session kind of knows that the song isn't great, or maybe they're at a gig and they see that the singer's terrible. The only thing I can control is what they think of the guitar player, right? So I want people leaving a gig thinking, man, I don't think that singer was great, or maybe that drummer was weird, but dude, that guitar player, he was on his game. And that's how you move forward. Like, you can't worry about the things that are outside of your control. And I think it's also bad advice to tell people to try to control those things. Like, I'm not going to say no to a gig because it's not my favorite drummer that's on the gig or something, right? Like, music is such a relational thing, and a team effort, and multiple inputs of creativity. It's not my job to try to restrict myself to only playing with certain people, or only playing on certain sessions, or only doing things with certain artists or whatever. Just It's not my job to do that based on what I feel that someone else's level of preparation or work ethic or their ability to hear if they're out of tune or whatever. That's not my concern. My concern is providing for my family. I do that as a guitar player, and I'm thankful to do that as a guitar player. So uh, my job is to make sure that I play my ever loving butt off every time on every song. I'm going to do the very best that I can. That's my wheelhouse. That's my concern. So if the song's not great, you know, I play on amazing songs. Some of them are so incredible. And then I play on a lot of songs that aren't the greatest thing I've ever heard, you know, or they're very derivative and it's kind of obvious like you're trying to copy this thing or whatever. So what? Like that's none of that is my concern. I am as thankful to be paid by the great songs as I am the songs that, you know, maybe that person needs to grow as a writer or whatever. I will say that the truly inspiring moments in the studio, it doesn't happen every single time. But when it does, man, I mean, it's like I am invincible for a month, you know. When I'm in with a great writer and there's a great band and we get some literal, unquantifiable magic to tape or to hard drive, that's so inspiring. Like I could play on not great songs for a few weeks and it just doesn't matter, you know. That said, sometimes things can be discouraging, you know. Sometimes you get controlled by a producer or an artist or your instinct isn't what they want or whatever. And I just, you know, for me, my mentality is I'm an artist, but I'm also a plumber. Sometimes I show up to have creative input and to help make a great record. Other times it feels as though I'm just being told exactly what to play and what to do. And, you know, I'm showing up to basically be somebody else's, be the hands that execute somebody else's ideas. And that's what I call being a plumber. Like you're an artist, but you're also in the service industry, right? You're also showing up with a, you know, truck full of tools to fix something or to do a job. And if you can just have that mindset and know what's being expected of you in each situation, you're going to be a lot more fulfilled and satisfied, happier, easier to work with, all the above, right? So the shorter answer is it doesn't matter what I think of the song, and my job is to focus on me being the best version of myself as a guitar player in every situation, no matter what I think of how everybody else is playing, what the level of song, you know, writing is, how professional everyone else is being. I want people to walk away thinking, man, he played his ass off. Like that's it. So, and I think that applies in life in general. You know, don't worry about things that are outside of your control. You know, yeah. Hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you.